for our next example, we're actually going to put this on the coordinate plane. So we found this, or we need to find the circumference and area of a circle with the center at -1, -2, and -5, 5 is the point on the circumference. So the center is A, and B is that point on the circumference. And so what we are going to do, okay, so this is our center, and that is our circumference, okay. So this is our circle here. We need to find, first we need to find the radius. So we need to find the line, right, from A to B. We need to find the distance from A to B. So what we can do for that, to find the distance from A to B, okay, is we can actually use that distance formula, okay? Now, I know you guys are probably like, I'm so over the distance formula, but it's part of why we went over it, is because we need to use it here. So distance is equal to the square root of x squared minus x, or x2 minus x1 squared, plus y2 minus y1 squared. Okay. So, let's start with A, okay? So let's do the distance of AB. So let's start with A. Okay, we're going to start with point A. So we're going to take the x from A, which is -2, or -1. We are going to subtract the x value from B. And then we're going to do the same. We're going to add in the y value from A and subtract the y value from B. Now here, if you look, the reason I decided to put this in, put the -5 in parentheses is because it's negative, and a negative times a negative is a positive. Actually going to be -1 plus 5 squared, and then plus, okay, -2 minus 5. -2 minus 5 is -7 squared. Let's keep going. -1 plus 5 is 4. So 4 squared plus -7 squared. Okay. Let's keep going. So 4 squared is 16 plus, okay, -7 squared is 49. 16 plus 49 is equal to 65. So AB is equal to 65. That means our radius is 65. Is the square root of 65 equals R. Okay, guys? So, alright. Perfect. Now we haven't actually found our circumference or our area. So we're going to have to plug in to find our circumference and our area. So our area is equal to pi r squared. Okay, so area is equal to, and we're just going to plug in the square root of 65. So the square root of 65 squared. So area equals 2. Now square, okay, what happens here is these cancel. Alright, so we'll have pi 65. And I don't think the answer didn't really tell us to leave it in terms of pi, but let's leave it in terms of pi. So that equals 65 pi. Because remember, you got to flip it. You need to make sure that that pi is in the back. So there's our area. There is our area. Okay, guys. Now we got to find circumference. So let's find circumference. Okay. Circumference is equal to 2 pi r. That's equal to 2 times pi times by the square root of 65. Like I said, multiplication order really doesn't matter. So we're gonna do 2 times by, so it'll be pi times by 2 square roots of 65. 2 times the square root of 65 is 2 square roots of 65. That equals to 2 square roots of 65 pi. Okay, we don't have a unit in anywhere. So, okay, here we are. Now this one you could say units squared. Okay, and this one you could say units, since we don't have a unit. Okay, alright guys, so let's keep going. Alright guys, so pause the video. Okay, I even pause the video when I actually record these, so I can make sure. Okay, so don't hesitate to actually pause the videos and stuff. Okay, and take a break. So let's move on to our next question. Okay, this is the try it problem. So I want you guys to follow what I did in the last example. Okay, so you need to use the distance formula. After you use the distance formula, then you can then you can find you'll find the radius, and once you find the radius, then you can go ahead and find the area and the circumference. Okay. Hold on. So find the area and the circumference of this problem. Okay. Let's I'm gonna type that in. Area and circumference. Okay. It kind of overlaps on the graph a little bit, but that's okay. Alright guys, so because you're going to draw your graph on paper. Alright guys, so make sure you guys try this problem on your own. I want to see it in your notes when you turn it in. Alright, so point A is at 9, 4, and point B is at -3, -1, represent the endpoint of the diameter of circle C. So when we call a circle by a point, we always call it by the center. So that means circle C has a center at C. Draw the diagram on the coordinate plane and find the following information. We need to find point C. We need the length of the diameter. We need to find the length of the radius, the circumference, and the area. Okay, guys. So, alright. We've got points A at 9, 4 and point B at -3, -1. They represent the endpoint of the diameter. So the diameter, okay, is actually, the diameter is this line that goes from A, or from B to A, or A to B, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Okay. We need to find the point that's in the middle, okay? We need to find the center, okay? The center is going to be in the middle of the diameter. So in order to find point C, we need to find the middle, or the midpoint, of A and B. So C is going to be in the middle of AB. Alright, and we're going to use this midpoint formula, which is x1 plus x2 divided by 2. Then y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, okay, so we need to find point C. So to find point C, okay, we're going to use A and B. So let's start with A. So we're going to use the x value for A, which is 9. And we're going to add it to the x value of B, which is -3. We're going to divide that by 2. Then we're going to use the y value of A and the y value of B, which is -1. And we're going to divide that by 2. So, okay, let's keep going. 9 plus -3 is 6. 6 over 2. 4 plus -1, or 4 minus 1, is 3. Divide that by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. So, okay, we come up here. So C, this is C. C is at 3, 1.5. So we'll come up here and we're going to plot our point. So C is at 1, 2, 3, 1.5. Whoa, look there. It even, like, it fell on the line. I didn't think it was going to actually fall on the line. So here's our C value. Okay, C is right there. That is the center of our circle. Our center is at 3, 1.5. Now we need to find the length of the radius. Now we can find the length of the radius using the distance formula. I know you guys are probably tired of using the distance formula. So we're going to find the distance between A and, or B and C. You could use A and C, but I'm going to use B and C. Okay? So part B. Distance equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Okay, guys. So we're going to find CB or BC. So let's use the values of, let's go add a red, alright? So let's find the value, so we're going to use the x value of C first, so 3, and then we'll use the x value of B, which is negative 3. Okay. Plus, alright, the y value of C, which is 1.5, minus the y value of B, which is negative 1. We're going to square it. Okay. Now let's keep going. 3 minus minus, that's a plus, so 3 plus 3 is 6. 1 plus, right, because minus minus, so that's plus 2.5 squared. 6 squared is 36. Plus 2.5 squared is 6.5, 6.25, and then let's add them together. It's 42.25. Okay, now we don't have any rounding rules for this question, so let's round it to the nearest tenth. And if you take the square root of 42.25, you get 6.5. So the length of CB, our radius, which equals the length of CB, is equal to 6.5. Okay, guys? Okay, now we need to find the diameter. So for part C, okay, part C, we need to find the diameter. Well, diameter is equal to 2 times the radius, which is why I found radius first. So we just need to do 2 times by 6.5. And 2 times by 6.5 is equal to 13. So our diameter is 13. All right, now part D asks us to find the circumference, and the circumference is equal to pi times by the diameter, so we'll just have 13 pi, and then our area, so part E was area is equal to pi r squared, so that's equal to pi times by 6.5 squared. 6.5 squared is 42.25 pi. Alright guys, one last video and it'll be a short one.